when we live with the liturgical calendar, it actually takes us through the life of Christ. And then it sprinkles in this really beautiful way the saints and the life of Mary. And what we do when we adhere to the liturgical calendar is we journey with Christ. And that's what we're supposed to be doing, right? Because we want to get to heaven. The secondary calendar, the, educational calendar or the secular calendar, that's just a part of, kind of constructs our day-to-day, but that's not intended to help get you to heaven. So I want to get to heaven, and I want people to come with me, and I want people to be happy to do that and joyful to do that, and find the joy that I found in living that.
In this episode of Bold, we talked to Steffani Aquila. She's a UST alumna, works for the Co-Cathedral as the Director of Liturgical Life, and has a blog called His Girl Sunday. In this episode, we talk about her time at UST, how to live a liturgical lifestyle, and how that helped her deepen her relationship with God. But before we get started, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook if you have one. At Mac Studio UST to stay in the loop and get a behind-the-scenes sneak peek at everything that we're working on. Now, let's jump into this episode of Bold with Steffani.
Hi, I'm Isabel Garcia. I'm studying education at the University of St. Thomas in Houston, and I'm the host of Bold. Bold is a podcast that aims to inspire students to be your bold self through conversation with students and alumni. Hey guys, welcome back to Bold. I'm Isabel and I'm here with Steffani Aquila. Welcome to Bold.
Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, thank you for being here. How are you?
Good. I've got a cup of coffee, so I'm wired and ready.
Awesome. Love that. Introduce yourself. Give us your little elevator pitch.
Oh man, elevator pitch. I'm so long-winded, so I'll try. So I work for the Co-Cathedral, and that all started because of my little business and blog called His Girl Sunday, which is a way that I help individuals, families, and parishes to live a liturgical lifestyle. So I love the Catholic traditions of the faith, and I love any opportunity to party. And so I like to inspire people to live a joyful life.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
And you're a UST alum.
And I graduated from here 2012.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. How was your experience at UST?
It was amazing.
Really?
It was amazing. Yeah, it was just what I needed after coming off of a year at U of H, which was kind of challenging for me, and just kind of wandering around, and I was pre-dental and not sure just where I was going, and just didn't do that great. So when I got here, I knew that I needed that Catholic element. I had been a youth minister, so I wanted that to be a part of my education, and that's exactly what I got here, was just this really faith-filled, wholesome, beautiful experience of college life and community. So I could go on and on. I love UST.
Me too.
Yeah.
How has UST grown when you come back and see it?
Oh man, it's a lot different. I will say that. Looking back as an alumni, I think the community life is a lot more vibrant. The campus ministry team is just in full swing. There's so many hands on deck, providing tons of opportunities. I see them online and I'm like, I don't know if this is for alumni, but I totally want to sneak into this. I have an old ID and it doesn't have a date on it. So
you totally could.
So in that way, I think it's grown a lot and has been really beautiful to see, the sports teams develop and just a wide range of opportunities in terms of extracurriculars that I think, and, like I said, community life, which is so beautiful. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. It's awesome. No, I love St. Thomas. And how did UST prepare you for post-grad life, for the real world?
Well, I live in the Catholic world, so I'll admit that. I dedicated my whole life to working for the church, and I worked for the church since I was 19 years old. And so I wanted something that was going to really immerse me into that world and to, give me the opportunity to stretch my intellect and to really give me the rigor that I needed to learn theology and speak in that way and write in that way. And that's provided me with opportunity upon opportunity. And then, just a group of faithful friends. I didn't have that. I didn't grow up in a very Catholic family, and I didn't have very Catholic friends. I wasn't living a Catholic lifestyle before I got here. It was kind of up and down. Mm-hmm. And then when I got here, there were all these people that were my age, just so in love with Christ. And I hadn't seen that before. And so I have friends that have grown into adulthood with me and gone on to graduate school with me, and have just, I married one of them, just kind of became my friend base and my family.
That's awesome that you continue to be friends with them like after college. That's awesome.
Yeah, this is my friend group is formed either through here or through my graduate degree or, my work in parish life afterwards. So that would not have happened. I don't feel that would have happened without this experience here. So
yeah, and I think that's still like a thing now. Like I meet people that I'm like, dang, I've never met people that like are just such good Catholics that you don't see like anywhere. As like when I was in high school, I never met people like that, and like here everyone is like just so nice.
You're right. Yeah, high school was a wild ride and totally different. For me, and I was in the dance world for basically my entire life, and that was like a whole different world that is not always super faith-filled. And so you really see like what you can have and how Christ can fulfill your life when you meet these people that you connect with on like almost this existential level of like transcends like just kind of the day-to-day grind.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. And you work at the Co-Cathedral. Talk about that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's new. I was doing communications before that and out in Spring, and the commute was really challenging for me. And Father Jeff saw my blog and what I was doing with Liturgical Life, which I try to focus on just a wide range. A lot of times we see liturgical living geared towards specific age groups, but I really wanted to embrace that into parish life too. In that, parishes are the basis of our communities, our Catholic communities. And so when he saw that, he was like, well, why don't you come to the cathedral? So I was just ecstatic because I already have a devotion to the Sacred Heart, which I feel like God just like orchestrated throughout my life. Like I had no part in that. But every time if something happens, I feel the Sacred Heart pop up. So when the cathedral called, I was just like, okay, Lord, I feel like this is you calling me here. And so to be able to be kind of at the center of the archdiocese, the cathedral stands as this pillar for all other parishes. It's a wonderful thing to be able to reach so many people and to start something new. This is like totally new. And in some ways, I'm discovering my own role as I develop it because no one else has this title. So I'm like super excited to be in this position to start, not just a trend, but to kind of like revive a Catholic culture.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's incredible. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Whoa. Okay. So like, what do you like do like day-to-day life? Like, what does that look like?
So it looks like checking out the liturgical calendar. A lot of what I do is kind of revolves around the liturgical year and the liturgical life, like the sacraments, what's happening, that week, what's happening that month, what are special ways that people can come together and either pray or participate in, extensions of the liturgy through like processions or time to pray together or even just communal activities, coming together to celebrate something outside, whether it be through like a picnic or a bonfire, or just depends on the feast day. But like what I do is essentially kind of look at what the liturgical life looks like within the year itself, the way the church sets it up, and then I unpack it and make it engaging and creative for people to then make it a part of their day-to-day life.
That's awesome. That's super cool.
It is fun, yeah, because you get to show people, like, your Catholic life doesn't have to be here on Sunday, in this, like, perfect little, just, like, corner of your life, and then you, like, go through the daily, work-a-day life and the grind throughout the week, but, like, this is how Catholics are called to live. Like, the liturgy is the center of our faith, right? Then we're supposed to take that and live that out. But how do you do that? So I get to show people how they can go about doing that.
Yeah, because I think that's a lot of struggles for a lot of people. Like, I struggled this, like, before coming to school, is like, I feel like I was, like, two different people. I was, like, like, Catholic, and then, like, my everyday life. And, like, I was only Catholic on Sunday. But it is a struggle to like learn how to like combine the two, and that's a perfect way of doing it.
Yeah, and it's easy to do that, right? Like, I'm this person here, I engage in these things when I'm here, and then I engage in these other things, and you don't intend to do it, right? But you kind of are a little bit different when you like enter into different things that you're partaking in your life. But that's not really what the center of our faith is supposed to, like, that's not the heart of our faith, right? Like, that's not how Catholics are supposed to live out in this like compartmentalized way. So I like showing people that they can be happily Catholic day to day. And part of that is like abandoning, in some ways, like abandoning the usual calendar life that we live by, and kind of adopting the liturgical calendar and the Catholic calendar so that you could kind of like embrace with your whole self like what the church is celebrating.
When you mean like the regular calendar, do you mean like the Monday to Friday, like trying to get to the weekend kind of thing?
Yeah, just, your typical secular holidays or your typical work calendar or your school calendar, which is what a lot of us live off of, right, is the school's calendar. And so kind of recognizing that's there, and of course we have to like go through those motions, but that when we live with the liturgical calendar, it actually takes us through the life of Christ. And then it sprinkles in this really beautiful way the saints and the life of Mary. And what we do when we adhere to the liturgical calendar is we journey with Christ. And that's what we're supposed to be doing, right? Because we want to get to heaven. The secondary calendar, the educational calendar or the secular calendar, that's just a part of, kind of constructs our day-to-day. But like that's not intended to help get you to heaven. So I want to get to heaven, and I want people to come with me, and I want people to be happy to do that and joyful to do that, and find the joy that I found in living that.
That's such a good message. That's incredible.
Thank you.
So do you like your job?
I love my job. I've never been so happy in a job. Yes. It was a long time trying to figure out like where I belonged, I think, and even professionally can be hard. And I taught for a really long time, and I youth ministered, and I found a lot of joy and beauty in those days. But, when you just find that thing that you feel like God created you for, I feel like this is it. And so all the days are great days, even if they're hard or challenging or frustrating. So, there's a lot of beauty in just kind of allowing the Holy Spirit to like guide you, because it was scary. I didn't know really where I was going at different points in my professional career and enter my spiritual life, because they're so intertwined for me. So,
and how do you like deal with that? Like when it's like gets hard, like how do you come out of that? How do you like just trust in the Lord full-heartedly?
I'm just a normal gal, so I go home and I pour a glass of wine and I I put on my favorite show. I decompress. I, pour out all my worries or concerns to my husband, and then I pray. And then I try to sit and pray in front of my little home altar and just remember what it's all about, that it's for God. And God's in control, and I'm just a vessel of that. And a lot of times my frustration comes when I notice myself like trying too hard to grasp on, right? Like this is something I'm doing, and then I have to put myself in check, like, no, you're doing this for Christ. Just go with it as it comes. Be irritated when it's time to be irritated, but then like move on, So, look at my process.
That's a good advice. That's awesome. And let's talk about His Girl Sunday. So you started that. Why did you start that?
So I started His Girl Sunday because I had grown up with a lot of really fun seasonal traditions. Like I said, my family wasn't like super Catholic. My dad's not Catholic, and my mom was like not even really practicing. So we were just kind of like get the sacraments, check the boxes kind of thing. But we had so much fun seasonally. And then when I got married, the Aquila family just had a ton of liturgical celebrations and feast day traditions and all the stuff that kind of like opened up, just a whole different world to me. And it was like life was fun. Life was something to partake in as an extension of like the joy of the resurrection of Christ. I wanted everyone to see how they could live a joyful and festive life as a recognition that all is gift from God. And that's how I saw these gifts of tradition that we got, whether they were seasonal or liturgical. It kind of like gave us breaks in the typical, like what can be very boring weeks, right? And when we only celebrate holidays like once every several months, it's like, life can get really mundane in between, right? And just kind of like drab. And so I was like, our life is fun. Our life is enjoyable. It's not perfect. Like we have sufferings and we have struggles, but we had these moments where we could celebrate together. And it kind of gave us a break to like participate in the love of Christ and community and have fun with my spouse and my friends. And I wanted people to see that they could do that. And that they could make that their own. Whatever their life situation is, whatever season of life they're in. Like your life, you are meant to be joyful here, joyful Catholics, not cranky Catholics. And, to kind of give yourself permission to like live out a festive life.
Yeah.
So that His Girl Sunday is just a way of me sharing my heart and my family and the joys of being Catholic and loving God and recognizing that God loves us.
Yeah, and you do that by like showing recipes and like different calendars and different activities to do.
Yeah, so I have a part of my blog called Liturgy Kitchen, which is about like different recipes that are associated with different feast days. And I love to cook and I love to host and bring people together and see people having a good time. And food is a part of that. And then just activities or communal gatherings that can be adjusted for empty nesters or college students, people without kids, people with teenagers, people with little kids. There's so many different seasons of life. I think when we only gear tradition and festivity towards one season, then we end up leaving out other people, right? The rest of the Catholic population, like what are we to do? And so I saw that hole and I saw that need and I kind of wanted to show how that could be filled.
How did you get into like the liturgical lifestyle?
Just kind of our family stuff. It was kind of by accident, I guess, because I didn't know the term liturgical living existed. It was just all like Catholic tradition, and just like living a faithful life. And then when I got online, like everyone else, to like Google more stuff, I saw that term pop up, liturgical living. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of like a new way of expressing that we're living by the liturgical year, what I just call Catholic tradition. But and so when I started Googling, I realized there isn't anything for me and my husband. Like, we're older, we don't have kids. How can we live the liturgical year? I just saw a lot of stuff geared towards children. And then I saw just a big gaping hole in like parish life with communal activities. It's like the one time a year we get together is for the parish festival. Like that doesn't seem right, And so basically in my own searching to expand what was already given to us, I saw a need and then I saw how my own life could fill that. Hopefully.
That's awesome. Whoa.
Thank you. Yeah. We have a lot
cool.
of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. So do you have anything else you want to add? Talk about liturgical lifestyle, His Girl Sunday?
I think just, hoping to empower people to use what's there and to use what is being offered through His Girl Sunday as a way to adapt and engage in a life of resurrection, right? That we're in the Easter season, we're Easter people. There's this beautiful quote that JP2 has said that floats around every Easter that, Easter is or Alleluia is our Easter song. We're Easter people. And that's not just for this particular season. And I just want people to recognize, especially young adults and adults who can get so zoned in on work and school and preparing for success. And it's just very worldly things, right? Which is admirable, but also like don't lose sight of the beauty and the joys that life can hold. Give yourself permission to step away from the day-to-day grind and to be with your community and to be with your friends and to look at what's being offered on social media and then get off, right? Because that's where we find kind of that lived Catholic culture and experiences when we're with each other, not just online, right? So like a lot of what I offer is there, but hopefully it's encouragement to go call up your friends, go spend time with your spouse, go get your community together to kind of express gratitude for all that God has given us.
Yeah, that's incredible. I think that like a lot of people need that in their life. I know I need that in my own life to like, because I get so stuck in like, especially right now, going through finals and it's a little rough.
Right.
But like you said, like I need some time to like take away and like just why we're really here.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I love that you're doing this. That's incredible.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for being here.
Sure. I was happy to talk to you, and I appreciate you chatting with me. I feel like I'm sitting with an old friend.
Yeah, you're so easy to talk to. All right. Stay bold, my friends. Bold is a podcast produced by Max Studios at University of St. Thomas in Houston. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook at Mac Studios UST.